gonna say that yesterday went according to plan?
I don't know.
Pretty quiet in here, ain't it? Had to kick Kristen off the job.
But it will be more dangerous, so fingers crossed.
Stop!
You guys are all gonna hate me.
If I change my mind a million times, I wanna hear him say yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. On the last episode, Matt continued to put up the wall frames, and our framing is almost completely done. We are now moving on to trying to get this completely closed door. We want to get the drywall on, and we want to be done with this chapter. We are sick of this chapter. It's dragging on. It took way longer than expected. So the first thing up on our list today is getting the archways framed in. We've never done this before, so this is going to be some trial and error.
Yeah, I said we should just get a long 3/4 inch PVC pipe and just kind of flow an arch. And Kristen said we're not doing that. We're doing it the mathematician way. She has a 2-screw method that she's been checking out for an elliptical arch, and I said, okay, yeah, let's do it.
It's called the 2-nail, but yeah.
She's calling, so we're gonna let College Boy handle this one, and we're gonna get after it, and I'm just gonna be the nailer. So now I have the plywood down, matching the width of our opening, which is almost 12 feet. Now I need to find the center point of my template boards, which is my plywood. So now I gotta find the center, which is gonna be roughly 6 feet. Okay, so with our 2-nail method, you can see why it's called 2 nails. I have one down here and one down there. And then you do the even spacing from the middle, and then you're supposed to just be able to rip around. This plywood's kind of
Rip
rough.
around with a string.
Rip around the string. I'll show you in a second. But with the plywood, it kept breaking the pencil tips, and we were getting some wild lines here. I don't know if you can see. I'll have Kristen zoom in. But yeah, basically you come in, and then you use the tightness of the string, and you follow it, and it does give you a certain elliptical. Going back and forth, you can get a different line every time.
I think there's a little bit of stretch in our string, and you're not supposed to have stretchy string.
I couldn't tell you, but we were not getting anywhere near it, and we spent about an hour doing this back and forth. It's outside of our pay grade. Even College Boy couldn't figure it out. We were using sentences.
I don't know about that. It's not the shape we wanted, though.
I think on a smaller scale, we could do better with it. This is a pretty big opening, so we're having a little bit of difficulty there. But Kristen, I think, said a sentence like, do you want the center of the middle to be closer to your middle center or your center middle? And I was like, what are we talking about here? I have no idea what the center or the middle is. But what we did was we have my gangster way now that I pulled this board in here. I got a long piece of cedar, and I put it in the middle. And then I just pulled her in.
You put nails down.
I put some screws down, and I slid her in there, and that gave me a nice elliptical. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just go along here and measure incrementally every 3 inches. And I'm going to make a mark, and then I'm going to put my square, and I'm going to mark the distance on both sides, because if I can get this one side perfect, then I can just flip it and mirror it, and then I'll have both sides be the same, and I can do that 4 times and have all of it perfectly even, and then I have a shape that I want. So I think this way is going to move a lot faster for us, and then we're just going to adjust on the back end.
boy. Can we see what it's gonna look like? Let's see how that looks.
Is that gonna tickle your tail feathers?
I don't know. I gotta think about it.
Okay, so we cut out our shape here, our first template, quarter of our templates. Kristen said she wasn't quite sure when I popped it up there, so I went ahead and fully attached it so that she could back out and get a look. And she said she wants it a little more shallow. She said it's dipping a little too hard and it's giving a triangular effect. So we're gonna pull it down, readjust, make it a little bit shallower, put it back up and see if she likes that any better. Okay, so back up on the ladder. Kristen said with just the board going down, it wasn't giving the right cascade effect. So she said we're just not getting it round enough. It's too pizza slice in that corner. Looked fine to me, but and we only pushed this up about a 3/4 of an inch maybe, so I don't know how much difference of a slope it made, but she said that looks a lot better. That looks wonderful with this little kicker in here to give it just a little bit more of a circular ellipses in the corner here. So what I'm gonna do is measure all throughout here to get that same circular shape that Kristen loves.
All right, y'all hear that? Pretty quiet in here, ain't it? Had to kick Kristen off the job. I said, "Your wife and I love you." I said, "Get off this job for 15 minutes, go play with that sweet youngin'. Let me rip and dip here." And then we're really trying to get a very specific arch. So I'm gonna work on it for about 10 minutes, and I think I'm coming up with a system where she's gonna be able to make the call and be happy with it. Okay, so I have our backer board up there. Now we're going to be able to take our template piece. We're going to be able to, in real time, find our proper angle. We're gonna block them out. We're gonna make them look perfect. And this will be the end of this saga. And then we're gonna get arches up.
All right, so we ended on this note. It's subtle arch, but it's shallower in the middle. It's not a peak point in the middle. So I think this overall is going to look good. It's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right.
I'm not gonna say that yesterday went according to plan. We took a long time figuring out those arches, and you know what? We didn't go mathematically. I didn't do college boy. We went with vibes, and now we're gonna hope for the best.
Well, I mean, they mirror each other. For one, we pulled it over and mirrored, so that's exact. We found the arch that we wanted. That elliptical thing, I think, is more for like furniture and smaller pieces. This was a big jump, and it just was not working, and it would have taken us months to figure out how to do that exactly. We didn't have the right string or whatever, so we went with the vibes. It came out beautiful. Chef's kiss.
It's not done yet. We have gotten the shapes for both of the archways. Now it's time to get the framing all complete and put together. So let's get into it today before we lose too much time.
Let's go. frames up, I'm going to mass produce my blocking, which is the little pieces that go inside of it to give it some strength, and some framing to tie in so that I don't wobble around once I put drywall on that. If you bump into it, you don't want it to crack and have a big weird looking arch, unless Kristen's going for like an antique Roman vibe, which we might have to do if it does crack. But basically, to set this up quickly, I'm just going to clamp my piece of wood where it goes, and then I should be able to just slide these in, zip. Otherwise it's going to take me all day because I got to cut about 100 of these.
You guys are all gonna hate me. I changed my mind. I know Matt called this and he said he knew I was gonna change my mind. But we got good and bad news here. Bad news is we have to tear out more walls. I was hoping we were going to be hitting that drywall and really coming around. But instead, I'm going to be pushing back the wall of the office for more cabinets in the kitchen. I feel like I need that U-shaped kitchen. I want this, I have a vision for a kitchen that I want, and now I'm going to do it. So we're going to, Matt's going to, I know all the people that say we all the time and I don't do anything and I'm just, anyways.
Listen, quit picking on women in the comments. I was raised in the 90s with a single mom, so I listened to plenty of Shania Twain growing up, and they said that in that song, if I change my mind a million times, I want to hear him say yeah. So we've been psyop conditioned, you know, to just know that a woman's going to change her mind a million times, and I'm fine. I'm satisfied with that, and all I have to do is unscrew some boards, move it in, and Kristen's going to go, now I can relax and rest. Women, for some reason, really care about what their house looks like. Dudes don't care too much, but for them it's very important. Doorknobs got to be a certain distance from the wall. These weird things. Women are all like, they got a bit, they got
There's
to
a lot
touch
of
the OCD.
measurements you have to be on the kitchen. I wasn't aware of that.
A window has to be a certain distance from any wall ever. There's these weird things that you trip over, but I guess there's some feng shui to it. There has to be something that's important.
It's all gonna look good in the end.
And for me, it's about a personal growth.
The good news is I finally got my layout for the most part, so we should be ready to rip and put that all together. So knocking out one more wall, then we'll see where we are at that point.
Making an adjustment. We're not knocking it out. We're just sliding it over a couple.
Yeah, we're making a cubby hole in so I can add cabinets.
So I'm not a licensed electrician, so I'm trying not to have to diddle-daddle with the moving of the wires. I am gonna hire a guy for that, so I don't get sparked And then, so I'm gonna just move this whole wall plate back. Should be pretty simple. But I have to cut into this wall to see where my wiring goes through. So I just might have to cut the wires out here. Not cut the wire, but cut the wood out so that I can slide everything back without changing any of this, because I don't wanna do that. That's out of my pay grade. Alright, so the next step is now that we have all of our screws and fasteners exposed from the drywall, I'm going to employ my new employee, Kristen, to come in here and strip this out while I have to cut 3 2x4s to move the wiring back to where it needs to go. I got to sacrifice a couple to get them back, and then that should be no big deal. We'll be able to move forward and just move on with our lives. So as you can see here, your boy had to make a homemade scaffolding. Moving my footstools for that arch was killing me. So I'm gonna use this planks that I made. Simple 2x6s, and then I put a beamer plank across the top. Seems to be working pretty well. It might be unsafe, but whatever. I have to go up there to take the nails out of the top. It's about 12 feet. So I think if I put this at about 6 feet, I'm about 6 feet. I'll be able to reach everything nice and easy, but it will be more dangerous. So fingers crossed.
Now we're making Rickety at the highest level of scariness.
Come on.
That's not safe, Matt. For everyone in the comments who thinks I need to watch better on him, I'm telling him right now it's not safe. He doesn't listen to me.
I want to know what's not safe about this.
It's that old ladder part.
What's not safe? Look at this.
Stop, stop, Matt, stop, stop.
Whoa, 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 whoa! So, slide this whole wall through. We're gonna have to accordion all my electrics so I don't get exploded. And then this way, I'm not touching any of the smart guy stuff. I'm just touching la madera.
Alright guys, I can already see the kitchen coming together. I'm getting so excited. You guys don't know how lucky I am to have Matt who can just place things like I'm playing a Sims game. I'm just moving walls. I'm saying, waboosh, 24 inches back, and then he does it. So now we are jumping into having to put another beam across. Why are we putting a beam across this?
Because it's 14 feet of a gap. It's gonna be like a cubby hole, like a niche. It's gonna just be floating whatever drywall I have on top and whatever lumber I have. It's probably a little bit big. I probably could have went with a 2x10, but I
already bought it.
Yeah, I have the 2x12 here because I figured I might have to float this entire thing. And the wall was pretty chintzy before, so I'm just stabilizing it. Those 2x4s, the wall that used to be in here that we just replaced, was super wobbly like it was terrible. So I wanted to make it a little more solid, spend a little bit more money on it, and it's gonna give us a float, which is gonna give us an appearance of flat on one side, and then we inset it on the other side. So we don't lose anything, but we gain 2 feet of kitchen width, which is what we needed.
Here we go. Time to put up a beam. Not like last time though, we got better ideas.
It's simpler this time. I just have to put the beam up there and then screw everything together up top. Now that I have a big part of the beam up, I am putting my eye caps, I guess this is kind of like an I-beam. I'm putting my caps on as we go. I was able to set up my laser level and the beam came out much straighter, much easier to handle this way. The one before, I built it in square, and then the twist that was in that 2x12 kind of made it a nightmare to fix later once it was up there. So this worked out a lot better. I strap in my top cap, and then I start cutting my pieces in. I'm loving my scaffold. You can see it bouncing back and forth a little bit, but it's working pretty well, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I think I could beef up that little rickety ladder. That's the main thing, is that bad boy wobbles back and forth. So I should throw some 2x4s on that, but I could also just screw the ladder to the wall if I'm ever dealing with some bigger stuff, which eventually I hope to be dragging drywall up the scaffold, so that'll work pretty well. You can see here I'm really starting to trust my scaffolding because I have taken my miter saw up there and I'm able to do all of my work up at the tippy top. I'm really happy that we decided to cut in this cove for the kitchen. A nice kitchen is going to make a much bigger improvement to a home than I think any flex room or office is going to. It's still a basically 10 by 12 foot office, which is perfect. Could be a flex room, could be a gym one day, could be, you know, a chicken coop if I ever get buck wild again to start raising chickens. But I think that's going to be a much better improvement to the house, adding that 2 feet to the kitchen instead of having, you know, 2 more feet in the office. Taking my miter saw up there made this a lot quicker. Cutting out these angles and being able to make some micro adjustments worked out really well, and things went a lot faster. And overall, I'm really happy. Kristen's really happy with how this is going to look. And overall, happy spouse, happy house. We made the dream together and we made it work.
All right, guys. Everything has come together this week, even though it took a long time. This is not one of our longer videos, yet it took an extremely long amount of time to get what we did get done. The arch is way harder than we expected. It's harder than I thought. I thought I was just gonna be able to put something up there and be like, you know what, that's good enough. It's good enough, but no, it wasn't. It looked terrible until you got the right one.
When you do real-time redos, you know, if you go to a steakhouse and you say, I'll take the 11-ounce porterhouse, and then they start cooking it, and halfway through you're like, ooh, actually, can you boil it for me? I like it boiled. And then they start to boil it, and you're like, oh yeah, 11-ounce porterhouse, please. Boiled, but with a nice sear. And you're like, we're boiling it. How can we get a sear? And they're like, well, boil it, then dump all the boiling water out, then sear it at the bottom of the hot boiling pan. So when you're having fresh work-throughs every 5 seconds, it's going to take some time. But I think we got a lot done, and I think we're getting there, you know, we're getting to the steps. These take a long time.
I see the future kitchen now. It is coming to. That little cubby hole is going to make a world of difference. That's going to be a grand, large coffee bar situation.
It just adds to the overall width of the whole common space that you're going to be living in. It doesn't bottleneck right there by the kitchen. So that is going to make a big difference. And that was our main battle. Kristen was like, this is what I want. When she started, she made a measurement wrong. So she was like, oh, no, I'm not going to get what I want. And I had to roll through and say, just get what you want. There's a million ways we can do this, you know. We can figure it out. So that was main battle, is fighting with her just to do what she wants. That's my main battle with her. She's like, oh, I want it, but then it's too much. Is it too much? Maybe it's not enough. I don't know. So you have that conversation.
Well, there's a lot of things to think of. Square footage of counter is going to add up if I want a nice countertop.
No, but you're just gonna make me do it. So you're gonna...
You can't produce a countertop
Yes,
unless you're pooping out granite.
If I can't do
I
it,
don't think you can do
it
it.
can't be done.
So it's coming together. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Tell us something that you have in your kitchen that we just can't not get, that we have to put in. If it's a spice drawer, the double trash drawer, what do you have in your kitchen that we need to put in ours? And also, if you want to see real-time updates, check out our Patreon. You can get videos early, or we do a lot of picture updates of before and afters and different things like that. So, anything else you have to say?
No, that's it.
All
Come
right.
on back now.
We'll see you next week. Bye.